I have just discovered the wonders of ginger turmeric tea, and I am really loving it. Wow. Someone asked me about mail. What do you do about your mail? Now, I'm not going to tell you what I do about my mail. But I will tell you what a lot of people do about their mail here in Mexico, because Mexico does not have everyday daily mail the way you have in the United States, where junk mail arrived every single day. If you get anything junk, they sort of tape it on your gate. And also, when I get my electric bill and when I get my water bill, they stick it through the gate. Or when I get a mailbox, they'll put it in there. But it's hand delivered. There is shipping in Mexico, and apparently it's very, very good within within Mexico. I don't know what it's like to ship something from here to the United States, but I do know a friend who did it, and she said there was no problem. And this is what most people do. Most people set everything out online. They send they have an email account that gets all their credit cards, their banking, if you're collecting Social Security or any other pensions, goes to your email. That's the most sensible thing to do. However, sometimes those people want to have contact with you. Human contact. No, I don't want that. And there's no way around it. You have to somehow provide them with the information that they're asking for. And there's several different ways to do that. There's phone, which is the most common way. They're not asking you to come to their office. There's the phone. The thing is, do you have a USA phone or do you have a local phone? And if you have a USA phone, no problem. However, USA phones are really quite expensive. They're $60 to $100 a month. You might be sharing it with a partner or with your family or 3 or 4 people, and maybe it doesn't seem exorbitant, and maybe it's worth it to you. I do not have that. I have a Mexican cell phone. I've had it for a lot of years. And I've upgraded. Now I have a smartphone that's smarter than I am. And that's fine. I can call internationally for no extra charge, and it costs me 200 pesos a month, around $8 to $10 depending on the exchange rate, and it does everything, and I'm perfectly happy with it. But that is a problem sometimes in the United States, and for that reason, I have something called VoIP, which was Skype, but they're about to close it. But there are others out there, and that I use a USA phone number for that. So that phone number can receive some text, sometimes SMS, not real, and they can receive a call. So if my bank says, "Hey, is it really you? Can we check?" I give them that phone, and they send me a code. If you want a U.S. address and you don't have a friend or a family member who's willing to do that for you, receive mail, and you don't get a lot of mail every single month. I get maybe 3 pieces of mail a year. 2 out of the 3 are usually from Social Security. Which is nice. They do. We're going to upgrade you, or you're not going to get, you're not going to get more money this month or this year. And my 1099 goes to them. And the other thing is, trying to remember all the different things. If your friend or your family member and you are willing to have them open your mail and scan it and send it to you so you can deal with whatever it is. Like, for instance, it was very difficult for me to set up my new Social Security account. I had an old one, but they changed everything. And in the end, they wanted me to provide them with a U.S. phone number, and they would not accept the internet phone. They say, "Oh, that's an internet phone. It's not a real phone." And so they had to send me a piece of paper. And I don't know what. I just ignored it. If you want to know the truth, I just ignored it. So then, with all the new changes that are going on, I was forced to finally upgrade. And because I was able to sign into my original account, I was able to finally set that up. But it is a little bit of a nightmare. More of a nightmare than it should be for, being, notified twice a year about something. So those are your options. Your option is a private service, which you pay annually for a monthly service. Or the other thing is FedEx works in Mexico. If, you can have something FedEx to you. Or you can call FedEx and have it sent out. And there's another one I don't know the name of. But so there are ways around it. But if you're new here and you want to have an address, then I would advise you go to one of the private services that has a actual site address, not a P.O. box. and see how you like that. And again, it really depends on how much mail you're going to get. You really don't need to receive your birthday cards and Christmas cards, do you? And if you're a person who sends out mail for the holidays, you can, many of those services will send it for free for you, unless it's like when I sent my taxes in, because I did not trust doing an e-file of my taxes this year because of, you read the news, you know the answer. I said, I want paper. I want it to go in paper, and I want a receipt that shows they've received it. I don't want any electronic stuff. And that's what, so I went to a private service, even though I don't belong to the service, and I don't know what they charge. They charged me $20 or something to FedEx to take it up to the United States and buy priority mail, USP priority mail, and they took care of it. So far, so good. That's my advice about getting an address if you really need one, and sometimes it does come in handy.